What's going on, guys? Today's video we have the XTRONs Android 10-inch display. This is a 6-month review. I said I was going to make it a 1 month later review just so I can give you more depth, but this is 6 months later and I'm glad I actually waited because I did actually end up learning a lot more within the 6 months life expectancy. I learned more about the AC and the heat and everything else like that, and I'm going to give you a bunch of tips and everything else if you decide to get this model. So on startup, we're going to go and turn it on. You don't have to turn on the car all the way. You could just easily turn it 1 notch. I did have a separate boot up logo, so now it's on the Honda logo, but it will start up as XTRONs in the beginning if you don't change it. All right, so this is what the UI is looking like. Sorry for the glare. I will do another nighttime shot just to show you, but in daylight, in like broad daylight, it still is very visible to see because of the IPS panel. So it's no issues on that. The sensitivity of the display is pretty good. The only thing is if you're moving apps and stuff like that, like if I were to move this, it is a little finicky, as you can see. And as you can see, I can't even really move it. It's just a little finicky when you're moving apps. So that's one thing to take consideration. It's a little slow on that part. You do have multiple modes here. So on the actual panel itself, like the physical buttons, you have up and down for AC, the out, AC, mode off, your front and rear defrosters, as well as an auto, dual AC, and your intake or the circulation of the airflow. So if you press one of these, let's just press the up on the little fan, it'll bring up the UI for the entire mode, which is nice. You can change the nozzles here. It'll be set to Celsius in the beginning, but you can change it. I don't know if you can see that, but it says Fahrenheit. You will have to change that to be able to change it to Fahrenheit. That way it's an actual heat and it blows out heat. And I had to learn that because when you actually use your light, so if I were to turn on my headlights here, it does dim it a little bit, as you can see. So at night it's going to be a little more dim than normal. We're going to go into the air conditioning, or we'll get into most of this like more in depth right now. You'll just have to wait for it, but you know, like I said, you can turn the nozzle. These aren't push, so you don't have to push them, but you can change the temperature left and right, which is really nice. Very easy to differentiate the driver and the passenger side of the model, which is nice. You change the airflow circulation right here on this top, which is also this button right here. As you can see, it's changing. So now it's the circulating throughout the car. This is taking air from the outside and pulling it in. This is the logo that it was on the boot. So on default, it'll be on there. It'll remember, it has a memory function, so it'll go back to the same mode. Keep it on this if you want dual AC and really good AC to how it was before on the original OEM model. That's what you're going to keep it on. And then you can obviously do auto, which just doesn't normally if you set it to a certain temperature or whatever. We're just gonna turn that off for now. And then you have max AC. You can change the current. So if you want it blowing like at you and underneath you, you can do that. Or if you want just the front ones, you can do that. If you want the lower ones, you can do that. Or if you want the front or rear defrosters to go on and off, whatever you want, you can do that. You can also change it 1 through 7, sorry. You can take a dual AC right there. That's the AC. If you had any issues with it, if you still have any issues, let me know. I'm gonna show you how to change the Fahrenheit. So you're gonna go to car info, whatever it's called, and then you can go to about device or SWC. Let me go ahead, and there's a bunch of stuff that you can do in here. I highly recommend you just check everything out. You can change all of the buttons here. So if I wanted to have volume up, to actually move volume up, I can actually do that. I don't have it set yet and have to program that, and I should, but you can change the steering wheel there as well. If you press settings here and you press 888, you have one UI menu option. So you have radio, CAN type, MCU update, volume, display, ATV, bunch of other stuff, boot logo here, MP mode, CAN type. I believe the one that you want to actually use is CAN type, and then you just change the temperature unit here to Fahrenheit. By default, it is on Celsius, so you're going to change that to Fahrenheit. Once you save, you're going to have to, it's going to auto restart it, and then you can change other stuff like out here, such as outside temperature, P radar, driving position, car type, everything else like that. You can easily change that within there. There's a bunch of stuff here you can do. You do radio, you know, you can tune everything else you want. Boot logo, and I'm going to show you some of the options that it has. So it has Proton, it has Volkswagen, Audi, Toyota, Lexus, Honda Accord, it has Nissan, it has Infiniti, it has Ford, Mazda, it has BMW, it has more of the expensive cars on the bottom. Just a bunch of options here, as you can see. Jeep. So if you want it to be any type of logo, it doesn't even have to match your car. If you just like the way a certain logo looks, you can do that. You can even have it as an Android or a Cadillac if you wanted to. The default one is an XTRONs, which is right there, so you can do that. Which if you actually do others, you can check the, you know, the brake there, IPS 10 on, the touch sensitivity and stuff like that. Park, mute. So when you're on park, it'll probably be mute. I'm not too sure. But there's a bunch of stuff that you can do. It says camera detect. Whenever you have a camera, you probably have to, you know, change some of the stuff. Logo option, SWC option, some of these stuff that you can go ahead and reconfigure if you would like to. UPS, debug, LCD mode, 8-bit or 6-bit. Right now it's standard to the second one. It has Bluetooth 1 and 2, so you probably could connect two devices. I'm not too sure what that means. Yeah. Install, protection, denoise, auto link, audio, Bluetooth sync, so you have ASYNC sync and SYNC regular sync. Bluetooth name, so you could change the Bluetooth name. The reverse mode, so if you have a camera, a backup camera, which I will install in a future video. I do have it, I just need to install it. You have other stuff in the, you know, setting. You have assistant touch, reverse volume suppression, standby time, stuff like that. Display, volume, sound, video. If you would like to do video, you can do that as well. Front cam, air conditioning, reverse warning line, assistant line if you want, navigation if you like to do that as well. So you have a bunch of stuff in here. You have storage, app permission. I highly recommend going to the settings if you want to change anything specifically. This is not the default home screen. You can change it however you want. This is kind of the stuff that I always use. So I use maps a lot, I use air conditioning a lot, I use the settings a lot, I always use Bluetooth. I just keep music on there just because. But if you want to listen to music or answer a call, you just go here, you pick one of those names or the devices that are connected, you just press that, and then you go to the music one in order to listen to music. Let me go and get my phone here just to show you. So I'm on my phone here. So if I just press connect, it'll turn green. I'm not too sure if I'm connected here. Just go and check. So now I'm going to be connected. So if I click XTRONs on the bottom, connect, it'll turn green. Sometimes you have some issues, but as long as you get that green okay, just go to music and then you can start playing any media on your phone or whatever Bluetooth device is connected. I honestly prefer this over, you know, a CD or a radio because, you know, it's your own music. You don't have to have an aux. It just seamlessly works. I like that. It does work, and then you can just start playing music or audio or stuff like that. Another cool thing is it has a DSP, and what that allows you to do is you can actually have smart bass, balance, delay, equalizer, loudness, or a filter. So I'm gonna go ahead and press equalizer here, and right now it's at a flat setting. But if you liked more lows, which is the bass, or if you like more highs, mids, whatever you want to do, you can fine tune this to however you want, which is really cool for audiophiles out there. My speakers are good enough to be able to just stay flat because it has a good amount of bass, good amount of treble, and everything else like that. They're just really good, reliable speakers, but I just keep it as flat. But you can change it to like pop, which auto sets it so you have some little different waves, and it shows you the wave here. Jazz, classic, but I just keep it as flat like I said. So that's another cool thing that this actually has, which I actually do prefer. If you do watch YouTube, it says do not watch while driving. You're gonna have to go to settings and actually turn that feature off in order to actually use it at all, because even when you're parked, you pretty much cannot use it. So you're gonna have to turn that off in order to use the actual device. But once you actually do, it's pretty easy. I actually have never used the YouTube feature on it yet because I just it does have a Play Store and stuff like that. I haven't signed in on the Google Play Store or whatever on the device because I just haven't. File management, DAB plus, gallery, some other stuff on here. I don't use most of this. You have torque check. Looks like it doesn't work. I think you have to have a Bluetooth device in order for it to work. It just popped up right here. I'm gonna see if it works again. I'm trying to think of any other comments that most people had. Most of them were in the air conditioning section. That's why I covered it first. Audio is good. Bluetooth connection is good. The visibility on it is great. The only thing is it scratches very easily, which I had something kind of above it and it did scratch a little bit too easy. But other than that, it's an amazing device. I honestly think it's so good for the price. $200 definitely won't get you down. It's amazing. I have tried the GPS option, you know, maps. It is very fast, you know, to be able to actually load it up in my connection here. Right now it says it's 9:1, so the date and time is correct. You can change it to an automatic time and format. It's nice to have the time as well. The temperature says it's 59 degrees in the car, which right now outside it's 56. -7, so it's pretty much semi-accurate. At one point it was like -3 degrees in the car. That's how cold it was one time, and that's when I was trying to figure out how to get the heat back on because we needed it. But in order to actually put the heat on, obviously your car has to be on fully, and then you just go ahead and raise it up. So you have to have at least one option, and then just raise it up with the knob. It'll go to high. Make sure you change it to Fahrenheit though, because if it's in Celsius, it will not blow out hot air. But then once you change it to Fahrenheit, you can do cold and hot air at the same time. If you turn off dual, it'll change both of them at the same time. If you press dual, it'll do basically different ones. So if you want high on one side, low on the other, then you can do that. I'm not too sure if it'll actually work because I never tried that, but you can do semi-different temperatures, which is pretty cool. And then obviously you can blast it up, and it does have dual AC, so it's like really good. And it's a very fast device considering that it's only like 2 gigs of RAM or 4 gigs of RAM. It's not that much of RAM, but it's still pretty good. Right now it's a decent temperature, but when it gets hotter or when it gets super cold, it does lag a little bit, and it takes a little bit longer for it to boot up or, you know, do certain apps and stuff like that. It does have like, I don't know if it's because my fingers are super cold or something like that, but it gets less responsive when it's super cold or super hot. Other than that, this is a beast of a device. Once again, I'm going to be doing a reverse camera. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a video on it, like installation, I might, but I'm definitely going to have that reverse camera be pulled up in action, and it'll be right here, which is also another good thing if you decide to use a reverse cam or have any of these features into your car instead of the OEM model. This is an amazing device to be able to actually use. I highly recommend it, guys. 200 bucks. I don't even know what it's set at to right now, but as you can see, you can close that if you wanted to, and you can do other stuff. Let me turn it up a bit. Yeah, it gets good. I've never blasted my car speakers that much, but it has a really good amount of bass, which I love these speakers for whenever I listen to music and stuff like that. But if you guys want to check this out, once again, link in the description down below to buy. Highly recommend it. XTRONs, thanks, shout out to you guys for actually sending this out to me. It means a lot. Definitely a really good mod. Really good stuff they're doing here. They have other mods for other cars. They're a big car manufacturer company, so I highly recommend you guys to actually check it out. See you guys next one, and we out.